I challenged myself to create cheaper plushy amigurumis. So to create this beautiful penguin here, I bought these yarns that costed me only Hi guys, I am Bianca from Crochetniks, and in today's video I'll share my experience working with this plush yarn that I purchased on AliExpress. As you're probably well familiarized, AliExpress is an online platform where you can purchase all sorts of things, from clothes to decor, technological accessories. You can basically buy anything that you want in the platform. And you can also buy some chenille or plushy yarns like this one that I have here. The main reason why I wanted to test this type of yarn is because plushy yarns are usually more expensive. Well, they're way more expensive than cotton yarn for creating amigurumis, which are my favorite type of fabric. And actually I have a video here in the channel, I'll leave the link here in the description down below, in which I talk about my favorite yarns for crocheting amigurumis, my favorite cotton yarn. So yeah, plushy yarns are usually more expensive. And I wanted to test some cheaper products to see if we could keep the quality of the amigurumi by crocheting with a cheaper yarn like these ones from Ali. But back to the plushy yarns, prices on AliExpress are generally lower than any other yarn stores or websites you can find online. And that's why before you dive into the app and start searching for, I don't know, any type of yarn that you can find there, I have some recommendations here for you to follow. When buying in these platforms like AliExpress, and there are other platforms, similar ones like Ali, there is a new one called Temu, and it's popping up for me all the time when I'm online. But when buying in this kind of apps, it's really important to be careful. I usually like to read customers' reviews and feedbacks, but especially when they have pictures of the product they bought, because you can see it well. I usually don't trust that much when I only see texts because, I don't know, they might have paid someone to give those feedbacks, so I am not 100% sure if I can trust it. So I usually like when I see pictures of the product in the hands of the customers. And I know the actual photos of the products when you search in the app, they are quite different from the actual product itself. So that's why I like to see photos of the customers. This yarn here, for example, this is not the color I wanted. I mean, I'll talk about the quality of the material later on, but talking about the photos now. When I saw this yarn, I thought it was more dark color, like burgundy or dark purple, something like that, because this was the color that I saw in the app, like on my cell phone and my computer. But when the yarn came to me, it was like, this is, I don't know, this is light purple. This is not the color that I wanted, but that's okay. I will work with it, but this is not what I was looking for. So when I found the store that I purchased this yarn here, I only bought 2 balls of yarn because I wanted to test, and it was like, I don't know, $1 or $2, something like that. And I was like, okay, if the product is not good enough, at least I just waste, I don't know, $4. This is one of the best advice that I can give you. Don't jump in and start purchasing 10 or, I don't know, 20 balls of yarn at once. Buy 1 or 2 just to check if the product is good, and if you like it, you can buy more yarn. And only after seeing the quality of the product that I decided that I wanted to buy from them again. This is a big spoiler because I told you I was going to talk about the quality of the material, and well, if I purchased again, it's because I liked it. But I'll tell you the reasons why I liked the product. I know that there are lots of stores out there, and there are some stores that are difficult for us to trust when we see the feedback or the photos, but the store that I bought this one seems like a very reliable one. And I'll talk about the delivery, the quality, everything, because it was indeed a good one. I really liked it. So first of all, talking about the delivery part. Delivery may vary depending on the country that you are. It's always good to check the description in the store and all the information that the seller provides in the app. When I lived in Brazil, delivery from AliExpress took like 2 months or more. Some products that we bought in Ali took like 5 months. Yeah, I remember that I bought one thing for me once, and it was a home accessory, and it took like 6 months to get to my apartment. So yeah, it all depends on the country that you are, because now that I'm living in Finland, delivery here is so fast. Usually when I buy things on AliExpress, they give me a deadline of 2 months, sometimes 3 months, but it usually arrives before the deadline. It usually takes a month or even less than that. We bought some things for our home that took 15 or 20 days only. It's way less than the period it took to arrive in Brazil, but even so, 20 days is quite a lot if you are working on a project and you have to finish in a specific amount of time. And so for that reason, it's always good to plan your projects ahead and buy the yarn, all the yarn that you need, because otherwise it will take quite a while for you to finish the amigurumi. We don't like that. We want to start an amigurumi, finish it, and start another project as soon as possible. So yeah, plan your projects ahead and buy all the necessary yarn that you need for it. Now talking about the quality of the yarn. The first 2 colors that I bought were the white and the gray one, because I wanted to make the penguin, the amigurumi penguin that I created for my Christmas set. And honestly, I loved the quality of the yarn. I don't understand what is written in the label. I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese, but yeah, there is the cat. I don't know if you can see the drawing of a cat here. And yeah, I cannot understand anything that is written on it. I just understand that it's 100% something, and I'll show you a picture. It's 50 grams, this part I can understand, and it's 60 meters, the length of the yarn, okay? They recommend a crochet hook from 4 to 5 millimeter size, which is the crochet hook that I used. I crocheted with a 5 millimeter size, and it was very good. The stitches were very tight. I loved it. I don't understand anything else apart from that, honestly. Yeah, there are some warnings and other information here that I have no idea. But yeah, 50 grams, 60 meters, 5 millimeter crochet hook size. That's what I used to crochet with this yarn here. And I know it wouldn't be enough to finish my amigurumi, just one ball of yarn of 60 meters. But as I said before, I didn't know if the product was good, if the yarn had a good quality. So I just bought one to test. And just so you know, one ball of gray and one ball of white yarn was enough to get to this point. So this is the penguin that I'm creating. And you see that the gray yarn was enough to make the body, and the white yarn, I did the color change here in the body of the penguin, and also like half of the head. I guess it's more than half, like 2/3 of the head. There is some left yarn here. This is all that was left from the gray yarn. The white color was, I don't have anything left from the first ball, okay? So that's why I bought another one. This will be more than enough to finish the head, and the gray one because I want to make the wings of the penguin. And just so you have an idea, this is the penguin that I'm creating with the plushy yarn. You can find this pattern available on my store, and I'll leave the link here in the description too. He's very cute. The light purple color that I bought was supposed to make the accessories, as you can see, the scarves and everything. So yeah, I bought this purple color because I wanted to make the accessories, and I wanted the plushy penguin to be as close as possible to the small version of it. And when I saw the picture on AliExpress on the app, it really looked like this color, like way darker than the light version that I showed you before. But that's okay. So just so you have an idea, this is my cute small penguin, and this is the big version of the plushy yarn that I'm creating. So I just have to make the wings now, and it will be more than enough. The yarn has a very soft touch. I love how it feels. It's very similar actually to a Brazilian brand that I used called Amigurumi Pelúcia. It's from a brand called Corrente, and just so you know, corrente in Portuguese means chains. So yeah, this is very similar to this brand that I used. It was my favorite plushy yarn back in Brazil. I'll also leave the link to the website here in the description if you want to check a little bit more about this yarn that I'm talking about. But yeah, this is very similar to the Brazilian brand, which I guess is one of the reasons that I liked it the most. I only saw one line patch in one of the balls. I don't remember if it was the white or the gray one, but I only saw one line patch, which is okay because we find it in all sorts of brands. I've seen it in Schrepies, Schackemeyer, I've seen it in Amigurumi from Círculo Hobby. So all the yarns have these knots and we hate when we see them, but it's completely normal. So I don't think it's something that happens with this yarn just because it's cheap, because I've seen it in all sorts of yarns. Another important thing to be mentioned here is I do have tips to work with this yarn, but honestly they are the same that I use for all the plushy yarns that I crochet. I always say that working with plushy yarns demands some different techniques, and this is completely different from working with cotton yarn. Of course, the stitches are the same. If you do a single crochet in one pattern that you use the cotton or acrylic yarn, you will do the same with this one, which is polyester. But the techniques are a bit different. There are some things that we have to do with this yarn, otherwise it doesn't work the same way. And I do have lots of valuable tips to work with plushy yarn. If you want me to create this video, please write here in the comments the word plushy, so I know you are really looking forward to this video tutorial so I can create it for you. All in all, I would say that the tips that I have to work with this plushy yarn from AliExpress are the same tips that I use to crochet with, I don't know, Baby Snuggle or Honey Bunny from Hobby, for example, which I use to make this beautiful Mrs. Claus. There are lots of pins because I haven't finished yet, but you can see how big and how beautiful she is. I still want to apply some blush. This is something that I like to make my amigurumis even more beautiful. But yeah, the tips that I have to work with the AliExpress yarn are the same that I used for this big doll here, which I used Honey Bunny and Baby Snuggle from Hobby. Just out of curiosity, this is the cute small version of my Mrs. Claus with my penguin here. It's all part of my Christmas collection. I'll leave the link here in the description and you can find the pattern for those cuties in my stores. And that's it, guys. Leave me a comment here down below if you'd like to try this plushy yarns from AliExpress on your new amigurumi projects. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave you with this other video here because I'm pretty sure you'll like it too.